Call the meeting of May 10th, 2016 Public Works Board to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Fritsch?
Present.
Mr. Pickard?
Here.
Mr. Reich?
Here.
Mr. Temperley?
Here.
Mrs. Wolf?
Here.
This is the reorganization meeting, which means that we have to elect a president and vice president. And as such, I am now accepting nominations from the board members. Are there any nominations for Public Works Board President?
I nominate Mark Picard.
Mark Picard's been nominated. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? If there are no other nominations, I will accept a motion to close the nominations and unanimously elect Mark Picard, Public Works Board President.
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Call, please.
Mr. Pickard?
Aye.
Mr. Reich?
Aye.
Mr. Temperley?
Aye.
Mrs. Wolf?
Aye.
Mr. Fritsch?
Aye.
Motion passed 5-0.
Public Works Board President, it's now your meeting.
Thank you. Next is election of vice president. Would anybody like to make any nominations for vice president?
I nominate Todd Temperley.
Okay, we have a nomination for Todd Temperley. Any other nominations? Okay, does that need a, no, we don't need a second. for that. Okay, closing nominations, and next, is the roll call?
Yes.
Or a motion? No.
Well, yes, you would need a motion to close nominations, and normally with one nomination, you would then say and unanimously elect.
Okay, so a motion to close nominations and unanimously elect Todd Temperley as vice president.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Mr. Reich?
Aye.
Mr. Temperley?
Aye.
Mrs. Wolf?
Aye.
Mr. Fritsch?
Aye.
Mr. Pickard?
Aye.
Motion passed 5-0.
All right. Done with that part. Moving on, number 5, correction and/or approval of the minutes of February 9th, 2016. Anybody care to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve minutes of February 9th.
Second?
Second.
Motion to approve minutes of February 9th. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item 6, questions and public comment. Seeing none, we'll move on to item 7, discussion recommendation on bid award, contract LM 1-16 milling and asphaltic concrete paving and patching. And we had the bids in our packet and a proposed motion. So, would anybody like to go over the bids?
You want to get a motion first, or you just want to go over
Oh.
the bids first?
Just go with the bids.
All right.
Yeah.
Dwayne, you're up, big guy.
Contract LM 116, milling, asphaltic, concrete paving, and patching. These are a number of different projects throughout the year. Looking at doing some pulverization in portion of the cemetery, pulverization of the pavement, and then overlaying with asphalt on a portion, or 50% of those streets in the cemetery through the Parks Building and Maintenance Department. There is a chip seal program that is in part of another topic on tonight's agenda, another contract. In preparation for that, there are a number of patches that will be done, inlet repairs, and the patching from those repairs are included in this contract as well. There is also a part of this contract that is set up so that as the year goes on, unknown breaks, utility breaks, trenches that occur can be repaired before the end of the season in the fall. The apparent low bidder was Wolf Paving from your motion at $147,891 and 40 cents is the low bid. The estimate, while pre-bid, the estimate was much lower. Upon review of the documents this week, since they were opened on Thursday, the pre-bid opinion actually was in the 145 range, so within about $2,000 of the bid.
Very good. Would anybody like to make a motion now? There's the proposed motion 16-5-1 in our packet.
I'll make a motion to approve 16-5-1.
Second.
Motion and second to approve 16-5-1. Any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Temperley,
Aye.
Mrs. Wolf,
Aye.
Mr. Fritsch,
Aye.
Mr. Pickard,
Aye.
Mr. Reich.
I don't think I vote on these matters.
Motion passed 4-0.
All righty.
Oh, one question. I assume Wolf passes our quality.
They did Madison last year.
And if I'm not mistaken, they're also doing much of the subcontracting work for many of the projects, Elm Street
East Lake Park Place.
and East Lake Park Place. So they will be in the city on other projects as well.
Okay, next on the agenda is number 8, discussion recommendation on bid award, contract LM 2-16, crack filling and chip seal maintenance.
Can I just make a quick comment on this one? In the past, we've worked very closely with Jefferson County to do a lot of the chip seal. Our crews have done the crack filling prior to that, and we're continuing to do that this year. But we had some issues working with the county on the chip seal in that sometimes they weren't ready when we were, and it got kind of late in the year, and so that prompted us to really go out and bid this. And same way with some of the patching, they worked with us to do that. So I just want to make it clear, we're not kind of nixing the county here and saying we don't want to work with you anymore, but we're finding that our costs are very competitive with what the county was providing us, and we're hoping that this will give us, we'll be able to schedule a little better. We'll actually be able to get the chip seal done in the summer during the heat when it should be done. So I just want to make that clear, that we're not just saying goodbye to the county. I anticipate we will be working with them on projects yet this year, so.
Thank you.
So the crack filling and chip seal maintenance bid, this was a bid. This came in much under, actually 30% under our estimate. So the prices were very competitive. Of those two bids, they were very close. The work that is proposed in this year's maintenance program is completing the chip seal in the Brookstone subdivision, also in the Ridge and White Pine subdivision, as well as East Lake Street from Madison to the bridge, in anticipation that that portion of that street coming into 2018 with Main Street and 2019 Mulberry Street, trying to prolong the life of that portion of East Lake Street through those years. Given the prices that LM 216 came in at, there is the potential that other chip seal streets may be added to this program as the budget is evaluated through all of these 4 contracts that are being considered tonight.
Have we done any work with Scott Construction?
I can't say that
Never
I have.
We've never done any oil and chip with another company before. It's always been the county. We did have Farner do work here before, but they did it for B.R. Amon as a subcontractor.
So as far as we know, they're okay?
Yeah, they've got good references, and they've got all the right equipment, and they're financially sound.
And we've always internally done crack filling. This is the first time we're contracting that out. Is that correct?
Yep. We've never done a contract for crack filling as long as I've been here.
And as Paul stated earlier, the street department is still doing the
Yes.
crack filling.
Right.
The reason for including an item in the bid was, given all of the different tasks that the street department is involved in and the weather that's associated with crack filling on dry days, the anticipation was if the contractor came July, was looking to come in and do the chip seal portion of that program, and maybe there was a street or two that we wanted to add that hadn't been chip sealed or crack filled yet. And if the street department could not get to it in their time frame, they had a bid item to use. But it is the full intention of the street department to do all of the crack filling in preparation.
So is this crack filling that's being contracted intended to be for the streets that are being chip sealed?
Yes.
It is, but it's a much smaller amount. So we
You're gonna
added
just-
a line item in this contract to get a price to do additional chip or crack filling if necessary. The full intention is that the street department will do a majority of the crack filling in preparation of the chip seal in this contract.
Okay.
But we wanted to have a unit price just in case.
Right.
Well,
so that-
and the other thing is we're kind of testing the waters.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just, I'm a big fan of preventative maintenance, so if we can get more crack filling done by contracting some of it out, I'm all
Exactly.
for it.
Let's take a look at Brookstone last year. We couldn't oil and chip everything we wanted to because we
Right.
didn't crack fill all of it. You know, if you got something there where you can say, okay, you can come, but you fill the cracks, we can get more oil and chip done.
And it doesn't mean that the street department is actually moving along very quickly through the Brookstone subdivision this week up until the rain. And so there is good progress on these streets already.
Any further questions? Anybody wish to make a motion? We have a prepared motion 16-5-2 in our packet.
I'll make a motion to approve 16-5-2.
Second?
Second.
Motion and second to approve 16-5-2. Any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mrs. Wolf?
Aye.
Mr. Fritsch?
Aye.
Mr. Pickard?
Aye.
Mr. Temperley?
Aye.
Motion passed 4-0.
Next, item 9, discussion recommendation on proposal award contract LM 3-16 asphalt drive patching, crack filling, and sealing at the wastewater treatment facility.
Yeah, this one is pretty much exclusively for the driveway and other blacktop areas of the treatment plant that need some repair.
And these final two items, 314, or 316 and 416, these are both not bids, but proposals. So the estimated value was under 25,000,
Okay,
and so they didn't fall under the bid category. They're in a proposal category.
but you still got multiple quotes.
We got multiple quotes.
So what, is it just a difference in procedure, or?
Correct. This is similar to a seal, like the chip seal program, except in this case, there is not the chips that are placed on that material. Similar.
The difference is, from the way it's done, is that, first of all, maintenance versus capital projects, and then there's the $25,000 cutoff. So anything below $25,000, you take quotes, put a notice in the paper, a Class 1 notice in the paper, and you take quotes. People just deliver quotes, and then you can just award the bid based on what the low quote is. And the other one, you have to go through, develop specs, do an advertisement in the paper, and then you have to open the bids. It's a capital improvement project. You have to do wage rates, and you have to go through all the processes that are required by the state. So that $25,000 mark is a pretty substantial impediment.
So like if it was just, so is chip seal considered maintenance or capital?
It's maintenance, but it's over the $25,000 mark. So in our bidding, on our city financial policies, anything over $25,000 has to be bid.
Okay. Good. And any,
Have we done business with Poblocky?
No, we have not directly, but they have done work here.
They're pretty big, aren't they? You
Yeah,
see
they're
their
real
signs
big.
all over the interstate.
They used to be mainly in the Milwaukee area, and they were moving this way about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. And they have done some work here for private people, but never for us before. So this is the first. They did work in not Arbor Creek, the Ridge.
They pass
Muster?
reputation-wise?
Yes.
Again, very competitive proposals, in this case, 7 proposals.
any further discussion, or would anybody like to make a motion on 1653?
I'll make a motion to approve 16-5-3.
Second.
Motion and second to approve 16-5-3. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Fritsch?
Aye.
Mr. Pickard?
Aye.
Mr. Reich?
Hey, you get to vote on this one. This is wastewater treatment plant.
Oh, okay. Aye.
Mr. Temperley?
Aye.
Mrs. Wolf?
Aye.
Motion passed 5-0.
I feel like the evening wasn't a waste now.
Next, item 10, discussion recommendation on proposal award contract LM 4-16 concrete curb and gutter and sidewalk maintenance.
So just to make sure that you don't point out that my numbers don't match, the engineer's estimate is what qualifies as meeting the requirement of $25,000 or less. So the engineer's estimate was 24.2. So we were allowed to go off quote on this one. So even though they're a little bit over, it's not, we've met the intent of the law.
This contract is, again, maintenance-type activities throughout the city, throughout the year. In general, we're looking at probably 3 mobilizations. One mobilization being a mobilization for curb and gutter for areas in the chip seal maintenance program. These are areas where the inlets are going to be repaired by the city's street crew. Curb and gutter will be replaced in those locations. The second mobilization is for the sidewalk repair portion of the budget. This year, looking at, in general, sidewalk repairs in the northwest quadrant of the city. That doesn't mean that there isn't areas that if there are need in other locations in the city, we will put those on the list as well. The third mobilization is considered for other utility or other conditions that have occurred throughout the year until the end of the year in the fall, anticipated any kind of repairs, both sidewalk and curb and gutter, having this contractor come back in and complete those prior to the final paving of the year.
All right, any questions? If not, somebody like to make a motion 16-5-4?
Oh, yeah. Does Schweigert meet all the conditions?
Yeah, he's a good quality contractor.
Okay.
Done a lot of work for us.
I'll make a motion to approve 16-5-4.
I'll second it.
Motion and second for 16-5-4. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Pickard?
Aye.
Mr. Temperley?
Aye.
Mrs. Wolf?
Aye.
Mr. Fritsch?
Aye.
Motion passed 4-0.
I thought we got through those pretty quickly tonight. Everybody had their assigned role, it seemed. Next on the agenda, recommendations for future agendas.
I will note there will be an appointment to this board at the next council meeting.
I will note that I will not be at the next council meeting.
Yes, but there will be someone who has applied to be on the Public Works Board, and as I understand, Council President Kirkevich will make the appointment. So I think Ian Laner will be appointed to the Public Works Board.
Very good. I wish I was here to greet him. I wish I would be here to greet him.
Todd will have to run the meeting.
Yep.
He'll take care of it for you.
Very good.
And anything else coming up that we need to know about?
As far as any project, it's basically going to be the capital improvement budgets coming forward, getting ready for the 2017 budget. Hopefully, we should be on the short track for the completion of the Public Works building on CP Avenue. Should be in the last weeks.
Can we have an update at that time? Verbal update?
Yes,
Still has to be on the agenda, so make sure it's on the agenda.
absolutely.
Brush pickup. Is there going to be another one? It seems like early April, so there's going to be another one like in May, I thought.
Oh, no.
No, not till the fall is when we do the next one.
Maybe we could revisit that. It seems like I've heard complaints that early April was kind of too early-ish.
It's interesting because we got complaints it was too late.
Too late, yeah. It's one of those things people just can't agree on, like lake
Yeah.
levels, so.
But, yeah, certainly that's something we can talk about, and, you know, we
Visit
are still in the
that
brush
out,
season,
yeah.
if you will. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, it's just bring that up. If people really care about it, they can make comments, but, I mean, we got ours done early April because I knew it was coming up, but other people said that it was too rainy or cold, so,
Okay.
all right.
Is there any problem going to, this occurred a number of years ago, but any problems with shutdowns of generation capacity anywhere that'll affect our load this summer for electricity?
Yeah, good question. The word we get from PPI right now is that they don't have any major maintenance programs scheduled for this year. And in fact, the last memo we got, the cost of wholesale power is running well below budget. So that hopefully will affect our power cost adjustment clause and keep that level, maybe even some negatives through the summer. And I always have to add the caveat, that's what we know for now. What will happen in the next few months is hard to tell. But, yeah, we're quite confident.
And the reliability of the line through the city from a few years ago and the newer substation, that's really helped.
I think so. The only issue, and it's not a big issue, but until it happens, and it just happened to have happened Monday, or maybe even last week, where we just had one hard hit. And we found, after looking around for a little while, we found a squirrel that had done its thing. But we immediately get calls from places where even that little hit shuts them down. And so that's always frustrating, but there's not a whole heck of a lot we can do about it, so.
Gave the squirrel last rites?
Yeah, they were quick. But, yeah, he got last, he or she, I don't know, last rites. We got the last tail.
All right, anything else, or, no? All right, I'll declare the meeting adjourned then, thank you.